residential homes have been approved in the city of Hobart, but they haven't yet been built, and we've got to do something about that. So we've created this fantastic new housing incentives package that provides rates relief for developers and buyers for 5 years, also slashing
it's the extent of the damage that we've caused down here and everywhere else on Earth where we've fucking done this type of thing. Now, I know y'all like to think of farms as like cows and chickens and I don't know, green hills and a little red shed and maybe a tractor in the background, but, well, these farms down here, they're a little bit different, y'all. They're a fucking monstrosity on the earth. And I don't know, I can maybe show you, I better not show you because I don't want to get arrested, but maybe I can show you. This is what it looks like down on the ground. It's fucking acres and acres, millions of acres, and acres and acres and acres of sweet fuck all is what I like to call it. That's right, sweet fuck all. What we got is one fucking thing growing down here, and that's about it. And basically this is one giant hydroponics setup because we've got so ahead of ourselves. Well, we've cut down every tree, which is, if you imagine a tree, everyone thinks a tree is like, what is a tree? A tree is a piece of wood stuck in the ground? No, motherfucker. Trees are fucking high-rise apartment buildings for a variety of life off this planet. You know what I mean? It's a strong as you lend a hand. The projects itself into three-dimensional space and does a variety of things above the soil, below the soil, everywhere. And one of those things it does is shade. Shade around and wonder what's below the tree from the ultraviolet light that comes from our sun. Well, the sun is our engine that drives this biological miracle that exists on this earth in every location. Now, over millions and millions and millions of years, biology has come up with ingenious ways to make the most out of every little drop of that fucking sun that comes down. And one of the ways it does it is by creating three-dimensional structures in the air known as trees. Now, a tree is like Trump Tower. If Trump Tower wasn't run by Trump, the Trump Tower was running some kind of organism that actually had a fucking soul and actually cared about its environment directly below it and around it. And what happens is when you have a tree, it creates a microclimate around the tree, in the ground, below the tree, and everywhere. And it's like a beacon, it's like a lighthouse that sends out to the world and everything around it, where there's birds, where there's insects, where there's microbiomes and viruses, nematodes, whatever the fuck it is, all go, whoa, man, did you hear there's a tree over there? There's a new tree there, let's go check this out. I've heard this is a fucking great tree, let's go fucking find this tree. Let's set up home here. Let's start making the thing, and all them biological earthlings around that tree start all like, woo, let's fucking make this place fucking great again. Let's make it great again. And they all start they don't fucking, it's not like they put up signs or fucking project TV shows or anything like that. What they do is they just do their thing, right? And their thing, this is the amazing part about how this whole fucking thing works. Their thing makes the environment better too. And it integrates with all the other things, doing their fucking things, man. And then what happened is, we went and cut down all the fucking trees, you fucking idiots! You are, like, intergalactically the laughingstock of the entire universe. Why? Because you completely destroyed your environment to give yourself some type of safety feeling, like you feel safe. You feel safe when you got a big bucket of grain in your fucking thing, and you can do these and you can do that. But look what the fuck you've done, man. Look what you've done. Do you really think it's like we're worried about fucking Putin getting pissed off because we fucking moved some nukes here? What the fuck do you think the entire conglomeration of life on this planet is trying to do to us after what we have done, right? Now, the tree is a great example. So we cut those fucking trees down, right? So we can get short-term usage of that square meter of solar activity. And in the process of doing that, we completely killed a genocide beyond the imagination you could possibly ever imagine in a bazillion years, right? This is what we have done to every square fucking meter of agricultural land out there, right? Now, we have killed because we did this for a long time. We did a whole lot of damage, and then when we started like dissolving rocks to get their nutrients out of them, and then use that as like fucking artificial fertilizer on that spot, well, that went and killed every single fucking life form that exists in that fucking soil. Which is like, if the tree's like an apartment building, the soil is like a fucking galaxy, man. Like a galaxy of life that makes the whole thing work. So now we go put a fucking tree in the ground. The tree's got no foundation. You can't, it's got no symbiotic relationship with the soil, because the soil is basically dead. We killed it. We killed all this soil. Millions and millions of acres of this fucking soil, right? And this soil is deep. Just imagine, like, it's unfathomable the damage that we've done. But I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to fucking sit here and be like, hey, we're fucking evil. We're all gonna die. Let's all fucking sing Kumbaya and fucking see ourselves into oblivion. No. Because this is all part of the process, right? When we got here, this place was dangerous for people like us. Very dangerous, man. Fucking things everywhere that wanted to kill us. Like the whole environment was crazy. The jungle, the reason we fucking thought that we could kill this fucking place is because this place is fucking dangerous. It's really dangerous. Like with snakes from trees, crocodiles, all kinds of shit in there that was trying to kill us. Like it was fucking, nothing like it hated us. It thought it was fun to kill us, so it tried to kill us. And we thought it was okay to kill its environment in order to protect ourselves and our children's lives. Now, that's okay, I suppose. But we're at a transitory stage, right? Like that. Woo! Transitory. We actually left a little bit too long. Like we took it a little bit too far, man. Because if you look around, we're actually in what would be described as a catastrophic point in evolution, in planetary evolution, where if we do not start integrating with biology and our environment and improving our environments, right? That means everywhere, improving our direct environment. That is our life. That's the dues that we pay for living on this fucking earth. Okay? It's like it's not voluntary. It's needed to be done. And the greatest thing is we actually really like doing it, right? whatever species like that we modified for us to be here, it loves doing things like this. It loves planting things in the ground. It loves putting its hands in the ground. It loves all that stuff. We just need to reconnect them. We can still do the phone thing and the Netflix thing and the you know, everything else thing that we're trying to do. We just need to do this as well. And we need to make it like, not like some kind of fringe thing where we need to beg permission to fucking improve our environment. No. This needs to be a like global priority and not run in some type of corporate way where we're fucking buying products or some shit. No, that will take too long. That is bullshit, right? Every human being's purpose on this earth and like beyond anything else, beyond their entitlements to some kind of government, kingdom, anything else, is to directly improve their environment for themselves, for their future progeny that's going to exist on that land bound, right? And this is what we start doing. It's like the reason why I've gotten so extreme is like, I don't even care. Either you listen or we all die. It's that simple. It's got nothing to do with carbon dioxide or anything else that they're fucking trying to tell you. This is the situation. If you just can, like, take a second to get your mind out of these ideas that farms are like some kind of, like, and it's not against farmers either. Farmers are going to be the ones that do this on fucking on scale that is unheard of as soon as they have the resources and the like the vision that they can work towards. That's what farmers do. They don't fucking know. They're fucking stuck in the same system y'all are in, right? But this is what we need to do. If there are not tens of thousands of small-scale experiments taking place in, like, the abundance of fucking denuded, destroyed land on this continent and other continents, then we should basically just commit the whole fucking human population to death, right? Because the other thing, this is a scary thing, right? I don't want y'all to get too scared about it, but it is scary, okay? It's like, we believe that we're in some type of technological brilliant age because you can see me right now because I'm videoing myself and things. Now this is wonderful, but the reintroduction of biology to denuded soil that has been so destroyed is not easy and it's not quick. It takes time and it is hard to do, and we don't really know. We know a few ways. This is the good news. There are a few ways that we can do this. We know how to do it, but there's a lot of things to be done, okay? So we need to get better at it. We need to get faster at it. We need to put our priorities towards it. This is the thing. My hope, when I look at Elon Musk, and I look at what he's doing, and I look at where he wants to go, it is my hope that I've read between the lines and I can telepathically communicate with that man, and I hope to God that his plan means when he says that we're going to Mars, he means that we're going to turn this fucking place into Mars if we're not careful. Now, Elon, please tell me that's what you think, right? I don't care if you spend 50% of your entire thing actually trying to get to Mars, okay? God bless you. But until we realize that we are turning this place into Mars, then what on earth are we doing trying to get off this rock and go somewhere else? You know what I mean? Like, it's even, the argument is so simple. It's like, you want to go to Mars, Elon Musk, you want to go to Mars? Right. We've got fucking Mars, man. It's everywhere. You fucking stop spraying chemicals on this land for fucking 2 days, or fucking 2 years, sorry. It's gonna be Mars. You stop doing that anywhere, it's gonna be Mars. Mars exists. I know you got electric cars. That's great. Electric cars are wonderful. What a fantastic fucking thing. You went back into something that existed for 100 years and you made it fucking popular. Woohoo! Now what I'm asking you to do is do the same thing with fucking planting trees. Why can't we do that? Huh?
It's quite pessimistic numbering, isn't it? Or did they just know it was the start of a franchise?
At the time they weren't numbering the wars, although I think that in the First World War the idea of it being a great war, denoting the sheer scale of the conflict, the casualty rate, was already becoming used quite a lot.
So it was called the Great War, but not because it was great. Why did they call World War I World War I? It's quite pessimistic numbering, isn't it? Or did they just know it was the start of a franchise?
At the time they weren't numbering.
Like biological things. As the sun burns the ground. We need to think, what is missing? Trees, right? So all we need to do is in some type of pattern. Reintroduce some type of canopy tree, and then there's support species of trees that exist in that, some kind of node, right? It needs to be easily transported, but it needs to be plopped into place, right? And we need to use the overabundance of resources that we have in our cities to do this. We need to direct all our resources to a place that organizes them all into a thing to create this, like, what would you call it, Elon? What would you call it? Something that, like, it's like a drone or like a pioneer thing, right? So it needs to be like a little, like a drop-in cricket pitch. I don't know if you know what cricket is because you're South African, okay? So we need to drop in this thing, and this will create shade, create a microclimate, be an island for the biology that still exists in that area. It will improve that area as it goes on. And then, if we have any type of catastrophe, then, like on a world scale where chaos happens, this will do its job of turning this land that is basically Mars. As soon as we stop fucking doing shit to it, it's Mars. It's gonna take thousands of years to return to what it is, right? So if we're going into the apocalypse, why don't we give a gift to our future selves, the people that are going to have to go through this period again of tribalism and all this shit, and why don't we create environments that are beneficial to humans in the period of doing that? Like panspermia, why don't we seed the land with fucking giant, productive, human-friendly trees and animals? I don't know why. I don't know, Your Majesty. I understand that you're the landlord of this place, so I'd like to hear your thoughts. This used to be what you did. I've seen it. I've walked around. I know the spirit to which you claim this land, and I know the intention that you had, and it's like, to the time, I understand the whole thing. Let's bring that back. Let's bring it back. Let's create the environment that we deserve. And in the process, potentially learn to communicate with each other and bring an end to war. I think it's possible. I think you know it's possible. I think it's written in our very DNA. And I think with global rush of death we've experienced during the pandemic, it's a perfect launch pad to set something like this off. Now let's go.
Alrighty, good morning. I'm back on YouTube.
Woke up. We didn't find one of them, not one stinking big body. Smell, you know that gasoline smell. Oh hell. Smelled like victory. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
I just heard that Kilmer died. Make sure that it wasn't April Fool's. That sucks. Amazing actor. Yeah, amazing guy. If you haven't watched the documentary, watch it. You will probably cry. Rest in peace. I just heard that.
And she's buying a stairway to
YouTube, this YouTube account, after it appears that Alphabet or YouTube or Google has given up on its attempt to lure me back into the evil world of the smartphone. And these are the types of things that, like, they need to be documented. These are incredibly large attempts of control of very local government discussions. Okay, you can't intervene into local government discussions, especially in Australia, if you're not an Australian company. And this is just like, we're just going to chip away at it until we expose every little dark and dusty deal done by some fucking degenerate alcoholic boomer to get a couple of extra bucks to fly to Thailand to get whatever they keep going to Thailand from, you know what I mean? When I was a naive child, I was like, oh, that's Thailand. My dad But it's like, no, this global monstrous media distribution system that allows 12-year-olds to dance in front of the camera and upload it to the fucking screen, right? And 12 was being generous. 12's being generous. No, that company cannot intervene with some type of two system lockout authority registering handheld, tracking device. It's getting silly, isn't it? That's the cart leading the horse. If local government is getting censored by this Irish pirate company, after we've already established a lot of things, and basically this is what I'm going to declare this morning. I might send it to my daughter. This is the point where I would declare that Mark McGowan has lured my daughter and her mother into a state of delinquency, basically, and between all my content, which takes place here, it now takes place on my other YouTube account, which is called PermaBiz, which shows, the foundation of all of this work was through my, my permaculture studies and my sustainable agriculture, life that I tend to live, but have been disrupted at every single point. I know that I'm using paper, but I have a whiteboard, and I now have a I have a whiteboard eraser. I just need to get rid of. So I need to get some metho to get rid of the permanent marker on there, and then I will get back to being environmentally friendly. Although I do like there is something really tactile about the paper. It is just wasteful, but pales in comparison to that automatic robot that the government owns. It's just literally shooting out a tsunami of paper. Of just IOUs trying to paper up Australia's ginormous craters that are just forming everywhere. And someone needs to step in and say, listen, my conservative guess, 50% of those IOUs are never ever going to get to the government. In conservative, so it's probably more like 80. So what does that mean? It means the government is shooting paper out of its robot, and shooting money out of all these things, right? And on its assets, column, right? Conservatively, 50% of that money is never going to arrive, and probably realistically, 80% of that money is never going to arrive. If we don't get the word out, how the hell am I going to save Mel Gibson, which is my only job to do here? If you want to understand that, you can watch my earlier videos. And so my presentation, you can watch it on the TV as well. These are little artifacts from maybe videos you have never seen or don't see. This is called. I'll think of a really ingenious name to call it when I teach my espionage course in the future to the global intelligence agencies, and see out my retirement, explaining how I combated this fucking ridiculous digital. So yeah, basically it's spread out. Classic investment strategy. And it's spread out into different environments. It's like it's in the real world, protected under fucking 3-point vault. It's on Meta, it's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. Legacy just exposing the fact that this is a system of control that is, it's turning off the water tap during a drought or during a bushfire. Which is really fucking so this more than likely already happened in California, where all of these companies are headquartered. And they've had a fire. But this is Australia. See, a bushfire in Australia is a different thing. And a fuel crisis, at the point where our Prime Minister starts addressing the nation, that we're used to that being bushfire. So if someone was found to be either, setting off sparks in a bushfire, or they'd somehow disabled the water supply during a bushfire, that's basically Australia death penalty in Australia. So that's what these online platforms are up against. Okay, and they've given up the ghost on the old tracking. Okay, so they said you need to two-step authenticate this by having a phone, and I'm like, I don't have a phone. I'm literally in the process of documenting how the small scale of the phone has led to, a global catastrophe. And then they just gave up. So, and this is like that one thing is an exposure of how all of this was done by the tech nerds. Okay, they're like just like this. They're hackers basically. So they hack around. They're like, how can we do this? And that's how I respond. It's like there's always three answers. It's like, to do this, we could pay tax in Australia, or we could hypnotise everyone and manipulate all the people.
As you know, the conflict in the Middle East has brought pressure and unease to the Australian fuel supply. And I would like to reiterate that also we would like to see de-escalation in the Middle East. But we do support the US and Israel sentiment that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Oh, God. So I hate it when that happens. There was an AUKUS, was it? Good. As you know, all Australians are great. It's uncertainty. It sounds like an alien. Well, except the Italians are definitely Australians. That's for certain. This is your Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. We have had many productive discussions. As you know, the conflict in the Middle East has brought pressure and unease to the Australian fuel supply. And I would like to reiterate that.
I can hear it calling me the way it used to do. I can hear it calling me back home. woman. I know. Feels good to have you back again, and I know that one day, baby, it's gonna really grow. Yes, it is. We're gonna go walking through the park every day. I might say every day. Oh, I might say I'm gonna leave you go
All of this was done by the tech nerds. Okay, they're like just like this. They're hackers basically. So they hack around. They're like, how can we do this? And that's how I respond. It's like there's always three answers. It's like we could do this. We could pay tax in Australia, or we could hypnotise everyone and manipulate all the people into fucking building walls around themselves, so they can't even communicate the basic local government policies. And they end up just spurting out our global policy instead. Maybe then they might notice that our devices broke all local council bylaws. You can't walk around with a fucking Westfield carousel in your pocket. That's what happened. So anyway, I'm back here. But yeah, it's divided between here and on Facebook. I would say majoritively on Facebook, unless I change my mind at some point and I reveal a fifth dimension of how this investigation is going to be unraveled. Right? It's already being unraveled from things I did a year ago, which basically declare that all of this tomfoolery on the internet, especially on smartphones, was established by the first precedent, which was the establishment of West Point Casino in Tasmania, which happens to be in my kingdom, which is now an independent state. So that precedent, which is being heavily opposed right now, to the point where I'm hoping that two nuclear submarines, they clear the building and then literally drag it into the ocean to create habitat for lobsters. You will see that in a little royal nod to my new reign, this is just what we do, that the Queen Mary of Denmark was seen holding up a giant lobster, okay, in the Derwent. Little bit of foreshadowing towards the inevitable, displacement of West Point Casino into the Derwent, because in Denmark they never gave up their gambling. It's owned by the state, which gambling's terrible, but it's probably better than it being owned by private, octopus global entities that can end up turning the whole place into a casino. No one can argue about it, because they don't allow a local politician to be a local politician.
Worried you're not gonna find your people.
It's like the craziest thing. It's like, imagine in the and this isn't too long ago. This is like 15 years ago max, right? And I used to deliver these things, the yellow pages. And
don't I at least have each other?
Imagine the yellow pages. Right? Imagine half of the yellow pages was just pornography, and then like half of that was child pornography, right? And then they told you if you were a business,
I have 3 days to get the antidote
they
and save my dog.
extorted you in or out of that yellow pages. That's what this ecosystem is attempting to do. Now, a local politician is the same. Like, they were in the yellow pages. We have these artifacts. We can dig them up. From all the boomers, they've still got them. So it's like this is it. Basically, we go to the Supreme Court of Australia. We find a yellow pages, and we make this analysis, and we say what currently is the internet, directory being used for, and what is it restricted? And so they've already restricted line flow. And that's what I'm saying. It's like this, the internet platforms have basically been contracted out by the elderly individuals of Australia through their superannuation accounts to literally restrict political, a political anything from the younger people, which is confinement. Okay, that's what a prison does as well. That's what a concentration camp does. That's what a refugee camp does. That's what all of those things do, right? So our elderly population, through financial instruments that they have no idea about, that they were at gunpoint mandated to apply to their financial planning, right, are now being managed by offshore, like very, very extremist, extremely ideologically captured and, morally delinquent millennials, so the same age group, the same everything, to literally restrict with totalitarian, like complete financial and distribution rule the young people of their nation. And it's like, who do we bring to court? Okay, I would love now to have a global trial, and this is all I need to do. It's like I just want to bring Mark McGowan, definitely not the mastermind, but he's the local mouthpiece that set this fucking thing off. Okay, my children's mother, her husband, and my daughter, right, and perhaps even my current girlfriend, and just ask them, who's that guy? Your dad or your ex-husband, or your wife's ex-husband, or the guy that, your political opposition, or the guy that currently lives with you. What is he doing? Do you know what I mean? Because the assumption is that because I'm a spy, the assumption is that I'm secretive. But I'm not secretive. I'm the least secretive person that I know. And I've been completely pushed out of reality by people that are being very secretive. And I'm being prevented from attempting to begin my local government career by this unholy alliance of secrecy. And that would be it. I would bet every cent that I have in the couch, every dollar that I can find, every can that I can collect. No, I'm kidding. But I would, honestly, that would be exposed straight away, because it did a really good job at convincing all those people to just keep going. But it's like, what I'm saying is, like, where they're going is basically what all our governments have been trying to prevent people to do for a long time. So, and then these digital platforms are acting as a wall. And it's like I'm having to watch as my family is lured into hell, lured into absolute dissociated fucking whatever, outrage, where not one of them can accurately say, and it will just literally be, it'll just be like, it'll be terrible things. That's why I want to do it on trial. I want to say, what is he doing? And they'll be like, he's a fucking cunt, he's a fucking cunt, he's just fucking lazy bastard, fucking doing fuck all, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, my daughter will be like, I don't know, he's not my dad, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't love me. And it's like, all of the answers will lead to, these people have all been convinced that the internet, like, is like I'm riding on the back of a fucking Jeep in the Serengeti with fucking child slaves on the back, ready to fucking genocide a fucking small village in Mali. Imagine when actually I'm just, I'm trying to educate on, like, really core principles that have traditionally led our moral, fortitude in this nation and the previous nation and the glorious British Empire. It's like, so it's a mutiny, but the people causing the most damage are not aware of what they're doing. They're terrorized into following the leader, into just doing. And the majority of these people are women. Okay, so they're women that tradition, like there wasn't necessarily an imperative for women to be incredibly educated or even overly aware of their environment. This was so we take a pre-women voting. So women have been allowed to vote only to have, terrorist tactics used to harvest their votes to perpetuate and exaggerate to mammoth proportions the level of terrorism and the overreach into their personal lives by financial, political, media, like pseudo-religious and medical cults. And then my job as opposition would be to oppose that, and I'm being pushed out by that system. Well, that's a concentration camp. You can't call it anything else. It's just very weird because it's like, I don't know, it's like, I guess it's kind of like compartmentalization. Like there was a core principle by a certain generation of men, I'm guessing, probably all.
Well, this is going to be the biggest Freudian slip I've ever seen in absolutely terrible PR and marketing. It looks all great until you look a bit closer and you see that solar panel is sitting on a tree stump.
You can't call it anything else. it's just very weird because it's like, I don't know, it's like, I guess it's kind of like compartmentalization. Like, there was a core principle by a certain generation of men, I'm guessing, probably of my culture, right? To have total control. They wanted total control, right? Maybe subconsciously. But because they had the money, you know, their retirements, their assets, their investments, all these things, even their spending, right? So that people, like the global financial system and marketing, all that thing, that they're fishing for those people, those fish, right? So they put the bait for those fish that they like, so that those fish pay them, right? And then they do things for them. It's like, well, I will invest in this, but I would like more control. Well, I will invest in this, but I'd like more control. Well, I would like to see, you know, every day when I wake up, I would like a smorgasbord of fucking international women, you know, basically exposing their genitalia in reckless ways. Every day that I wake up, like that's that. If you imagine 50 years ago,
so far, what I'm hearing
there was only a few individuals that had that archetype.
It's like, this is immaculate.
But it's like Larry Flint.
We're so bad though. He's going to destroy it. It's the chorus, and it's
Hustler.
beautiful.
And then,
I'm getting like these sensations in my body. I've never felt
it's like
before. It's taking me to all these like crazy places. I feel like I'm hallucinating.
They were
and all of a
modeled
sudden,
by PR and marketing companies and by like sex traffickers and website developers, right? And then sold to every man. So every man got to be Hugh Hefner. Every man got to be Larry Flint. And the only cost, you know, for that, the only cost, well, the cost that they feel is nothing because they invested in that infrastructure. So they built the concentration camp globally for all of this, and that led to the enslavement in digital dystopian fucking concentration camps, you know, curated by these Googles and formerly by Meta. Meta saw the fucking light of the sun, I suppose. Which enslaved every woman into this perpetual debt slave thing, and it's like they're not like, well, like what the women are in is not like, because this is another thing, when you masculinize women, which is what you need to do in order to convince them to you know, shove things inside themselves on the internet, you need to masculinize them a little bit to get them to do that, right? They need to be vicious, they need to be capitalistic, they need to be enterprising, traditional masculine traits, right? Which is fine. It's fine if they don't all collectively school together, right? And be ridiculous and saturate the market and perpetually distribute it so that there is so much pornography out in the world that there will never, ever be a time where there isn't any. It's kind of like, So that has already happened, right? So that model, that's already where we live. That's like the oil of the West. You know, was basically white women on the internet having sex. That literally, that was our oil supply. But it's not like these women, despite some people trying to paint them as these like independent entrepreneurs, like, no, they were extracted like a fucking oil well. The same way, and it's like, and what we're left with as a country, as regions, is we're left with fucking with the toxic oil fucking mine, or the oil, or the mine site that's been sucked fucking dry, and these women are indebted up to their fucking eyeballs, right, in this perpetual race against each other and against men, right? Led on by utopian, delusional fucking Alexander the Great wannabe women that have just whipped them to continue on. Don't listen to the men! And that's the old women portion of this demand onto the technical universe. So the men demanded, they wanted, young women and, they of age but acting as if they're fucking children. And the women wanted control over those women. And that kind of was a feedback loop, because it's like, the more
I don't know if any
the male demand presented this
have ever done this, but I think something happened in World War I and World War II. I went on about it this morning. It's on YouTube. But I think these mechanised machine gun wars, mass murder, mass warfare, mass casualties events, I think it cleaned us out of courageous men. And I think it has permanently affected our gene pool to create this fucking hell that we live in. Because all the courageous men that would have, in the past, gone to the front lines, fought glorious hand-to-hand combat or whatever battles, they were the first ones that were killed. And how do I know this? Because the first time I went paintballing, I ran out and found my position, run out, and I got shot in the back by my own teammates. And I never forgot it. Ever.
Slutty fucking women on the internet across them. That lifted the threat levels by the older women. And it was this weird thing, like it kind of made their husbands less likely to leave them because they had this alternative. But it was also just constantly lifting their threat level. So they demanded more power. More and more and more power, and they chose knights to represent them. So they, counterintuitively, they restricted the capacity for those young women to be independent, entrepreneurial, fucking capitalistic free agents. They demanded that they had to be harvested up by the chosen elite of men, which were chosen by the elderly, elite class of women who were perpetually terrified. So their demand, female demand, old lady demand, led to the balancing, right, of a system that should never have been there. It's like, and this is because all of that generation, especially in all the Western countries, all of that generation were convinced to buy a house, to get some superannuation, and then kind of retire, whatever the fuck that means, and retire, not like retire to build little, to whittle wooden things or do fly fishing. Maybe that was the archetype, maybe that outwardly they presented that, but really what it meant was to retire in a fucking daily smorgasbord of international women at your fucking fingertips,
to bring
in a
Tasmania.
Fucking utopian brothel that lived in your pocket.
It's not glass, it's not mirror.
Okay, so that's... And then they're still like, retirement, fucking hell, it's difficult out there these days. But basically what I'm saying is that these two demands opposing each other in an attempt to continue the marital fucking lie, right? Because it's like, if I'm scratching at the walls in the marital lie as a 40-year-old, and I was doing it actually at 30, right? So at 30, I was already like, this is bullshit. let me out. This is bullshit. This is a lie. Because I wasn't living the same marital thing as they lived, right? Because they were already in digital utopia. So this is a long time coming. It's like they've been like, shut that fucker up. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you shut the fuck up. Like, this is bullshit. You didn't fucking... this isn't a long-term fucking multi-generational planning process. This is the fucking wet dream of a bunch of fucking slacking, fucking absolutely degenerate fucking boomers. And you're exposed everywhere for it. You know, it's like, look at the fucking mess. Yeah, look at it. Look at the fucking mess. You know, where would this start to be cleaned up? Maybe local government? Well, I can't, because you're the fucking entities you own, Alphabet, Google, you know, formerly Meta, even still Meta won't actually project outwards. But it's like someone's going to have to make that transition, and it's like those companies aren't looking at us to make that transition. They're looking further abroad, which means you haven't just built a confinement, you know, an ultra-misogynistic fucking utopian bullshit fucking prison. You've built that to then sell the lower generations. To what? Fund your death? You know, the socialist Pharaoh society? You know, where hundreds and thousands of useless, ridiculous fucking man children are buried with their phones filled with fucking pornography. In the best case, you know, legitimate, you know, adult pornography. And in the worst case, you know, an absolute fucking display of horrendous fucking pedophile fucking pornography. This is the problem with simplified architects and then the attempt to socialize elitism, to broadly distribute elitism. You know, men are compromisers. That's what marriage is, just fucking quietly. It's compromise. It's like, well, she just keeps sucking my dick and bringing me fucking biscuits. I'm going to, I guess, stay here. Not even wanting to. It's like, it's very difficult to go venture out into the unknown if you're continuously getting your dick sucked and getting biscuits brought to you, okay? Now, if I do that to a fucking 18-year-old girl, I'm declared as a fucking predator. Yet the digital world, you know, the boomers economy, you know, all of these debt fucking riddled fucking housewives, that's their only way out. Not out. That's their only way to survive. They're like, get that, I don't know, suck its dick and fucking bring it biscuits and hopefully it won't leave. Then my child that's left in this fucking delusional fucking prison awaiting the hordes of fucking intergalactic harvesting fucking pirates to come has a father figure. It's like, this is fucking insane. And it's like, we need to take the keys off of gravity. Now we have all types of laws that we can use. Now, funnily enough, when I was displaying my undying love for the Princess of Wales yesterday, right, and I zoomed into a place in Ireland to expose the fact that there was a guy there with the last name McGowan talking about how Lord Mountbatten was killed there by the IRA. All of that aside, what I did notice is that in that harbour there was a speed limit that said maximum 4 knots. Now everybody knows this. You know, this is the same as the speed limit. It's maximum 4 knots in the harbour. Now the only question I have to ask is, how fast were you going, Brenda? How fast were you driving in the fucking harbour? Considering every petrol station's a harbour, every post office, every court, every law, every library, every school, that's a fucking harbour, isn't it? Yeah, a school's far more fucking harbour-like. You know, that should have a fucking speed limit on it, far more than a harbour does. Those fucking sailors are a reckless bunch, and they're pretty capable of handling a bit of speed under their fucking rudder. But a school, Well, then we need to establish how fast did the boomers move us into their digital utopian wank fucking prison. Important question. Legally spoken very carefully. It's like, how fast did the boomers move us into their digital wank prison? Let's think of an answer. Let's think of an answer. It's coming to me. It's coming to me. I guess that's the answer. It's like too fast, and then hang on, that's the first answer. The second answer would be, why did the boomers legally, how were they legally protected by local, state and federal governments, you know, by all the financial laws, you know, all the humanitarian laws, all that, everything. How were they legally, you know, unseen, legally unopposed, when they slowly moved us all, when they extremely rapidly moved us all into a digital wank prison, where they're the prison wardens, right? The women are kind of a mixture of the prisoners and the entertainment and the prison guards. The old women are like their prison guards. And the old men and the young men are just imprisoned, except for, you know, hand-picked fucking prison guards, which escort all the fucking sex slaves in front of a camera so they can dance for Grandad. That was done in 15 years, right? With not one block was moved into place. Okay, it's not like building like, say I wanted to build like a Trump-like resort in which, you know, there was a cabaret dancing and there was all the mask-wearing fucking thing like that, and I built this big building and there was all that. It's like, yeah, okay, righto, that's a different thing. This isn't that. They used the infrastructure that we already had to do this. They stole the infrastructure of Australia, right, and backwired it, like jerry-rigged it into being a digital wank prison, and then they blocked all the fucking exits and taped all the little boys' mouths so they couldn't participate in democracy on any level, at the federal level, at the state level, or at the fucking local level, by restricting the flow. Which is exactly the same as like if I had a car, right, and your granddad, you know what I mean, stuck fucking sand in the petrol tank so that I couldn't drive to fucking Parliament House to bring my thing forward. That's exactly what they did. And they're all creeping around like this, like going, like fucking digital terrorists, but they're not really. It's disconnected. It's like their demand, their constant use, their constant fucking like consenting, their constant display of elitist fucking superiority fucking mindset. They're just all floating around just being like, oh, my retirement is so difficult. Oh, shit. Oh, I wonder what, like redhead, blonde, brunette, you know. So, and yes, just for, there is a different thing. A 60, 70, 80, 90, 100-year-old man watching 18-year-old porn is different than a 30 to 40-year-old or 20, 30, 40-year-old. It's different. Different. It is traditionally, it is the largest impenetrable barrier, that is the largest influence, the largest reason for personal wealth growth. Okay, it's really, could be argued that it is the only reason. You know, if you kind of assume power, it's like power, the urge to power. This is where the communists do have something right. They're like, the urge to power. Why don't they just say it what it is? It's the urge to pussy, right? Because the urge to power will provide you with pussy. in the traditional sense. Now, the communists solve this by saying, well, yes, there's an urge to power. Let's socialise that urge to power. Let's broadly distribute it. Let's socialise it. Right? Let's not call it what it is, the urge to pussy. Right? The impenetrable barrier between, 40 plus and the 18 down women, and reverse it and broadly distribute it on a fucking handheld device, which is like reversing the polarity on a battery, and it will explode the battery. But our system didn't see that. It's like the main line, like our entire electrical grid, is to provide this urge to power, which is an urge to pussy, to the elite fucking masses of boomer socialists. Right? And this is the best bit. They don't even pay for it. They make their fucking children pay for it by keeping them in perpetual fucking bullshit factories. Just like this. They make their children wait on them, hand and foot, to bring them their fucking digital heroin and to fucking do all the maintenance, to do all the fucking all the things, right? Could you possibly think of anything worse? And then I'm going to get to the point where it's like, how is that any different? When we identify this, how is that any fucking different than what the Iranian regime was supposedly doing? It's no different. So the answer is, it's like, are we living under the Iranian regime here? Are we living under the British regime? Whose regime are we living under in this situation? And where are they going? Because they're going too fast, one. But the answer is that they don't know where they're going. Because they broadly distributed a fucking cartoon version of power. And this is where it's revealed again. It's like the urge to pussy is the driver, right? And then power traditionally actually had some responsibility to it. So they've replaced the urge to power with their socialist communist delusion with the urge of pussy. They've absolutely satisfied them, grin from ear to ear, with zero responsibility. And their only responsibility to maintain that fucking delusion is to keep the young people out. To keep them from fucking spoiling to keep them from exposing the whole thing. Because it's inevitably going to fail after one generation, because it's a fucking scam. You can't broadly distribute the illusion of power. What do you think this is? It's going, like, people are going to snap out of it and they're going to notice. It's like people have been enslaved before, but they've been enslaved by warlords, powerful men. They have not been enslaved by socialists, porn-addicted fucking digital sloths who built the digital infrastructure only one way. They're like, I only want to see the cunts fucking dance. I don't want to hear them talk. Is that what it is? That's what it is. And it's like, how do we get this fixed without a war on our elderly men and women? Because that would be terrible. And I think it's like, they're so used to just dishing out their fucking monopoly money and being like, oh, I need protection. Oh, fucking shut him up. Oh, do this. Like, so much power. The false power has gone to their heads. And there is no one that is going to stand in the way of us exposing this anymore. There's no one. Why would you? Once it's spoken this plainly, are you going to stand up against me and be like, I'm protecting Granddad's wank fucking bucket? Is that where you're going to be? I'm protecting my Granddad's wank bucket. Fuck off. I will shoot you. Or even worse, they're paying me
They're paying me this monopoly money so I can live in their fucking back shed with fucking monopoly money and power their fucking treadmill, run on the treadmill to power their wank bucket. That's even worse. And this is what no one gets. It's like this reset. You know, people say reset and they're so used to a computer reset. And on a Chromebook, it's like literally happens in 2 seconds. I can boot this fucker back up. Lickety split. You know, that gives a false impression about what a reset might actually look like. It's like a reset in this condition, right? To get back to corporate, like that. Now I'm like the mechanic. It's like, well, fucking hell, you've driven that thing 40,000 kilometres over the service. You know, you filled it up with the wrong petrol. Okay, and you've clearly driven through a digital wank prison. You know, far above the speed limit. It's gonna need a complete overhaul. In fact, I don't even know. You're lucky that this thing might not even be salvageable. You might just be better off buying an entirely new one off the British Empire, off the Bank of England. And it's like that's where we're at, right? So it's like you all live in a prison, right? That your parents built, that your grandparents built, that they restricted democracy, but then declared democracy. And basically the whole thing is a write-off, and you stole all the intellectual property, all the physical property, and all the resources and everything to keep that fucking thing going. Right? So it's like you've got a big cleanup here. It's like the biggest fucking... Imagine a 70th birthday party, just off the tits, right? Off the fucking tits. Granddad's found the fucking cocaine. Granddad's found the fucking meth. Granddad's on his second bottle of fucking Jack Daniels. He's shooting his guns in the air. Right, that's where you've been living. Right, and I've come there as like a millennial, like avocado on toast eating, like, excuse me, could you keep the noise? Granddad's just like thinking he's fucking Dirty Harry. Yet the inevitable conclusion in the morning is that everybody's going to feel a whole lot different about that fucking 70th birthday party. Because now, Granddad's 80. That 70th birthday party literally went for fucking 10 years off its fucking chops. There are lots of dead people. There are fucking permanently disabled and mentally disturbed fucking women all over the place that have been enslaved to babysit the little larvae in Granddad's fucking sexual fucking beehive. You know, the men, just from subconscious activation to this fucking delusion, they're just rattled. They're just like, I'm at war, but I'm not at war, but I'm not, I don't know what's going on. See, because we weren't the chosen greatest generation. We were just afterthoughs, like fucking male fucking chickens at a hatchery. We were fucking mushed and minced down into fucking chicken nuggets and fed to the fucking children, in the worst case. Or we were just perpetually wandering like rattled fucking, homeless people, searching for salvation in the sky. While Granddad's 70 just powered off. Yeah! And the worst thing is, the Granddads, the worst of them, they're not Australian. This is their Australian experience. They're not Australians. They're English. And they're not English. They're fucking Poms. They're Poms. Not English. Not Englishmen. Poms. Poms came here, right? They had to compete with the local Australians who were the hardest, most, hardy, salt of the earth fucking, men. These little fucking faggy Poms had to compete with us, and so they had to compete by, pretending to be what they thought we were. And this is what it's led to. This is what it's led to. A bunch of fucking, of never naturalised, pommy fucking concentration camp fucking Nazi guards, having the 70th birthday that never ends at your expense. Pretty fucking crazy shit. Pretty crazy shit. And as I said, Google has already given up the ghost. They've said he's never going to get a smartphone. Their analysts have been like, well, he's done a 4-year fucking interdimensional time traveling fucking exposure, that would make Ray Martin fucking get a fucking boner. And the chances of him
turning course now. Even if we provided him with like a harem of fucking belly dancing fucking Persian queens, he's never going to stop. We're going to have to adjust the world to his demands. We're just going to have to. We're going to have to let him re-establish democracy in his fucking, historic homeland and exile the Pommy fucking pirates en masse. And it's like, where are they going to go? I don't know. It depends on what this negotiation process looks like. If they continue to dissociate, I don't know, off the cliffs is always an option. That's a good one. We've used that before, right? Granddad, off the cliffs! Off the fucking cliffs! Go for a swim! Oh my god! Let me take my phone with me! She loves me, I swear she loves me! The way she looks at me, she really loves me! Anyway, that's worst case scenario for them. Pretty quick and painless for all of us, but gross as well. It'll leave us with a fucking intergenerational curse. We'll be like, people will come to me and be like, did you drive my granddad off a cliff? And I'll be like, no, different bloke, wasn't it? So we're now in a position of democracy. We're now like, now a party must be formed. The legitimate party of the old blokes, right? You need to have an old bloke party, not this one, not the 70th, that's finished now, okay? You need to have a legitimate political party that stands in opposition to me, that explains in a court of law exactly why you didn't listen, why you didn't change, why you didn't stop, all the things, and then we will apply financial, societal pressures on you until you inevitably surrender and retreat and become integral parts of society, cleaning up the damage that you've caused with your attempt at the internet. Granddad using the internet, he wasn't very good. He found one website and he just stayed there. That's unfortunately the truth. And it's like, can't blame him. If my dad literally had access to pornography, he probably would have been a lot happier. But I am blessed with the thought that my dad died as a grumpy old man, a grumpy old gentleman, bitter at the young people, with legitimate reason. Okay? He legitimately could hold that. He was very grumpy because he probably saw the writing was on the wall. He knew he couldn't do anything. He was too old, too whatever, and he died as every man, noble man has died for thousands of years. He died fucking cursing the world and was brought into fucking heaven in a wonderful fucking turn of luck. I suppose that's what it feels like. I don't know what happens when you've had a 10-year fucking genocidal fucking bender with an experimental fucking technology and experimental fucking political and governmental process, right? And you've destroyed thousands of years of civilized concentrated effort by your forebears. When you die, I don't know where you go. It's probably shit. That's up to you. That's a religious thing. It's like, that's your choice. You get to decide where you think you're going after you die, right? But I'm not in a hurry to put you there. Okay, you're going to get there in your own fucking time, because that's already the problem, is you've been going too fast. So I'm not in a hurry to get you to fucking either salvation or damnation. You're going to get there when you get there, right? So you're going to have a lot of time to think about it, and everyone's going to look at you while you're thinking about it and cleaning up the mess the best you can. With your money, with your effort, with your attention, with your fucking obfuscation, with your fucking retreat, with your fucking removal. Once you're gone from making all this fucking noise, once you're gone from building fences, right? Fences and walls and I don't know, casinos and brothels. Once you're gone from that equation, right, you get to watch from afar, and then maybe, if you live long enough, you too will be able to enter the afterworld as a bitter old man, as God intended. Okay, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I've actually already been there. I was born there, right? So I'm on this other thing, but I'm still just as happy to, as an old man, be sitting on a rocking chair and be like, "These bloody fucking kids, I hate them. I can't wait to die." Then you die. That's how it's meant to be. You don't get to fucking delay that process. You don't get to avoid it. That's the point. And you don't get to convince your daughters that delaying motherhood, right, is some type of strategy, because it's only helping you. Because you want to use those little Russian dolls up, use them all up, and that makes them shit.
It's the Acheron, sir.
It's a really complicated socio-economic situation here. Basically, the way that we're going to police it all is
Captain's not
speed
called Lucky
limits
Jack for no reason.
harbour. You've been going too fast in your speedboat, Grandad, and you've killed and maimed
to take
a lot of people. Probably because of your IRA, fucking who knows?
You could be halfway to Cape Horn by the time we've been bed and underway.
Who knows why we are the way that we are? But luckily, we're not all the way that you are. Some of us are still the way that we were, which led to the fucking wonderful utopian landscape, the blank slate that you were all fucking given, and you vomited and shitted all over.
The French have their spies in England and elsewhere. As do we.
Alright. Sorry, this coffee's
Well then. Do you not see it? There's not a moment to lose. The only things that keep this little wooden world together: hard work, discipline.
Hard alarm!
They'll despise you in the end, think you weak.
Jack, man failed to salute.
It's like Stephen's hierarchies, even in nature, as you've often said yourself. It's leadership they want.
I make sure I suck the
There is
last
no disdain in nature. There is no humiliation.
Men must be governed.
You Joe Rogan says it's going to turn me into a woman.
You will
but I just
earn their
fucking...
respect.
I kind of think that my mitochondria is adapted to plastic, and it's actually making
Simple
me
truth is, not all of us become the men
superhuman
we once thought
capacity.
we might be.
And also the fact that I'm not injecting myself with fucking steroids and testosterone all the
There are
time.
those
You know,
among
it just
us
it really it makes me at one with my ecosystem, which is filled with plastic, right? So maybe it's just the old fucking filthy cunts that can't deal with the plastic.
Fellowship. Then we ask for your forgiveness, Lord.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe plastic isn't even real. Maybe we live in some type of digital simulation, and being afraid of plastic is like being afraid of, I don't know, flying Pac-Men. You know, it's like if you tell everyone that flying Pac-Men exists, guarantee you that they'll be afraid of flying Pac-Men.
Compelled to ask.
Not going outside today, laddie. Have you seen the fucking weather report? There's flying Pac-Men around, eating everyone alive.
I would say that I have never once doubted your abilities as a captain.
Speak plainly.
What it does when you provide a chemical equation. Oh, it's a chemistry equation. The plastics. You know, never listen to an old lady speaking to an old steroided up gym junkie about what the fucking threats of the world are.
Rightfully confident of victory.
You know, especially after I, establish this fucking Save Mel Gibson fund and the ethics of contraception and the fucking socio-economic fucking exposure to reckless fucking experimentation that probably has a higher likelihood of causing all these ill effects. Right? Now, I'm not in a vendetta, I'm not in a fucking glorious crusade to cast fucking Joe Rogan into a casino because he happens to be a very prominent mouthpiece in the perpetuation.
I will grind whatever grist the mill requires
I
in
couldn't
order
care
to fulfill my
less.
duty.
And actually, it's like, it's 80-20. It's like 20% of what he's been doing is terrible, 80% of what he's done has helped me. So it's like, and he's far away, I don't care. I don't care, that's not my fucking business, right? But these chemistry equations are not going to do the job, okay? They're not going to do the job. When we're swimming in fucking chemicals everywhere, all over the place.
Can you really claim there's nothing personal in this corporate duty?
Plastic is not going to be the holy grail of the fucking excuses that are given.
Now, I know there's not a faint heart among
Like
you.
lead.
It's not good enough.
Because then all the...
We need to fire 2 broadsides to her one. I'm gonna call that raggedy arse Napoleon your king.
Oh, we were exposed to a type of plastic after the war that made us all dirty perverts, and then that's why I still need my boat.
Take her.
Fuck off.
I know you're as anxious as I am to get into close action.
After decision, as a glut of fucking spoiled little cunts, right? You've fucking done it all, you're all in the same camp, and you can all have your little boys' meetings off to the side. And everyone will know when those old men are associated in there that it's a disgusting place and that everyone's to blame. It will be tolerated, especially if you give back. And the way that you can give back is by planting
Now to pull this
trees.
predator in close. spring our trap.
Where are you going to plant it? In the cups. Just plant a tree in the cup. That's right, you put the plastic in the ground. Oh my god. Oh my god.
They mean to take us as a
And you
prize.
plant a fucking tree. For every tree you plant
They're
that
green.
survives into adulthood, you
They're
will in some way make up for the children
England is under threat of invasion.
that never
Though we'd be
ever
on the far
got
side
to
of
do
the world,
that
this ship is
because
ours.
of your filthy cunt fucking system. Right? That's your only salvation. It's like pretty simple fucking thing to focus on, right? And it's a bait and switch. It's like you've been watching children fuck themselves on the internet, and now you will watch baby trees grow big and wonderful, so that the children being liberated from the internet can walk under a tree and perhaps pick with their very own hands that you have fucking, chained to your fucking screen. They can pick a piece of fruit off the tree for themselves and eat it.
Be turned into corruption.
And maybe that will fucking begin their
the
journey
resurrection of the body when the sea shall give up her dead.
I don't know, of healing. A healing journey away from this. Which is, I don't have my phone. I hate even touching it. Ugh, makes me want to fucking vomit. Does that sound good? Does this fucking senility fucking does this meeting of the minds, is this arts and crafts exercise keeping you all entertained? Do you want me to play some old English rock and roll music? Do you want me to put the fucking, do you want me to put the Who on again? Who wants, I don't want to listen to the Who. I hate the Who. We won't get fooled again. Won't get fooled again. No. We'll be fighting in the street with our children at our feet. Something. Something. We won't get fooled again. No. Where did all my fucking 3D glasses go? Oh look, I put my glass fucking pyramid on top of it. It's the telly, all broken. Oh, the telly's all broken. Oh, look at it, it's just all broken. Fucking hell. Right, that ought to do it. Thank you for tuning in to my return to YouTube. If you like, you can attempt to watch it on Facebook. Probably not allowed in there because you're not my friend, and so you're never going to know the true story. You just get little snippets, you know what I mean? Because you're spying. Because you're looking over the fence and trying to guess, why is this fucking weirdo fucking doing this shit? It's like, why am I doing the weird shit? I've got to make you all think that I'm weird so that you don't notice that I'm in fucking trapping you all in legal exposure, democratic exposure, and all the things. Because that's my job. That's my job. Now, the one exception of songs that the old men are now allowed to play, right, after their fucking 10-year bender, is you can play It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To, okay? You can play that as much as you want, anytime you want, anytime you're feeling bad, anytime you start to feel, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. It's not fair. That fucking curly head cunt came and ruined my good thing that I had going. And then all you need to do is stick that song on. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you.
Why did they call it World War One?
It's
quite pessimistic
there'll be
number,
that awkward
isn't
look.
it? Or did they just know it was the start of a franchise?
Oh, Granddad's listening.
At the time, they weren't numbering the wars, although I think that in the First World War, the idea of it being a great war, denoting the sheer scale of the conflict, the casualty rate, was already becoming used quite a lot.
So it was called the Great War, but not because it was great.
You stole. Your generation stole the bugle to pretend that you weren't building a digital wank prison. Ooh. That's why you don't get the bugle. We get the bugle. And you get, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I want to. You know, and every year you get to have a fucking day. This can be the day. Every 2nd of April, all the diggers that dug the foundation, that burrowed through and destroyed the foundation of our fucking system that the Anzacs fought for, but all the dirty diggers, not the real diggers, right? We have the diggers, we have the greatest generation, and then we have the dirty diggers, their children, right? And they get to all sit around and look at a picture of an iPhone, and they get to listen to It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want to. And that should pretty much do it. That has brought us up to date, okay? I will assume that the Prime Minister will, I don't know, he'll condense all of this into some type of presentation, right, that you can all, you know, I don't know, you can all understand, because I know that sometimes I speak too much of the land, of the people. I speak too common. I speak, you know, I speak too fast. I speak too many references. Too much going on. Just give me my phone back. Give me my phone back. She loves me. She loves me. She loves me. I can tell. The way that she looks at me. It's like she's looking right into my soul. In fact, if that bitch wife of mine doesn't fucking take her, I might just run off with the girl on my phone. Now I want my phone back. And he'll just be talking to the wall. Talking to the wall in a very, 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 very affordable retirement, you know, provided with all of the things that you need to live, a piece of bread, a glass of water, and a fucking window. Where you can look out and watch the children playing under the trees. Okay? And a box of tissues, of course. Don't worry, I looked after you. Some said, don't give them the box of tissues. I said, give them the box of tissues and a window. Let them fucking see out their fucking years, you know, thinking that they were the ones responsible.